Well, we've made it to the last video in our series. We just need to discuss how you're going to take all those great data-driven insights and package them into a visually appealing and powerfully communicated way so that all the necessary action can occur for that data-driven problem solving to happen. So let's start with data visualization. Actually, no. First, you should really ask, is a visualization needed at all? Not all things should be visualized, and not all things are best represented by a visual. Sometimes you really should just write about the numbers or the analytics and put them in writing or spoken form, but do be sure to include those facts, whether they be numbers or qualitative findings. For example, don't just say, customer satisfaction ratings are high. Instead, tell us what you found. A recent customer satisfaction survey revealed a score of 92%, demonstrating exceptional customer service satisfaction. And remember, not all visuals need to be charts or graphs. Sometimes they can simply be the numbers. Maybe you can even get creative with larger font size or bringing more attention through highlighting or bolding or calling them out with more emphasis within your other representations. But for those times when you do need a visualization, your first question should not be, what visualization should I make? I know it sounds strange, but don't ask that first. Instead, ask, what do I need people to know? And what do I hope this visualization will show? I recommend actually just starting with the goal. Do you want people to see that things are different? Do you want people to see that there's a relationship? Do you want them to see an overall pattern or trend? Once you identify what it is that you're trying to show and what people need to know, then I actually think you should go online. There are tons and tons of free resources, visual infographics, lots of places that you can type in the question and ask, what is the visualization to show this type of relationship or difference? Once you have that smaller set, I recommend following the advice from the book Storytelling with Data by Cole Nussbaumer-Knaflic. This one has some great tips all the way through, really practical advice, and it has 6 main points that I will incredibly oversimplify here for you. Number one, understand the context. That's making sure you consider your audience and the purpose of the visualization. Two, choosing an appropriate visual display. So, yes, getting feedback about what's the right kind of way to show what you're trying to show, but also making sure that you select the one that's going to best suit your data and your message. And then making sure that you really eliminate clutter, getting rid of anything that's unnecessary or distracts from your key point, and then focus the attention where you want it to go. You can do this by using visual cues to guide your audience eyes to where you want them to go. You'll also want to think like a designer when you're creating your visuals. This means paying attention to the aesthetics and how visually appealing they are, but also ensuring that your form follows the function and that you're really thinking about how it works as well as how it looks. And finally, make sure that your data is telling a story. Use your visualizations to communicate a clear and concise narrative. All right, I hope it goes without saying, but I do want to make sure that we don't forget that you should also be creating visuals for all that great qualitative data analysis. In fact, I might even argue that it's sometimes even more important to provide visuals for your qualitative. That's because it's sometimes hard to convey how you reached your analysis conclusions, and because of the nuanced nature of qualitative data, it can be really helpful to provide extra context and extra understanding. Qualitative visuals are really great at being able to show the process of the analysis, the structure of the codes and themes, and even the relationships and patterns among them. And you can also use visuals for qualitative analysis to emphasize the human experience, enhance understanding through examples, and provide a bit more context sometimes, even to your quantitative data. So you might have some more shallow quantitative data, and the qualitative can be used in combination with it to provide that rich, nuanced depth. All right, And fifth, as Cole mentions in her data storytelling book, make sure that when you're communicating your data that you're not just providing facts, but that you're making it part of a story. And ideally one that's going to resonate with others. I recommend Nancy Duarte's awesome book that has that as the title, Resonate. So maybe check that one out for more on how to do it. And you want to make sure that when you do that, you make it memorable so that it sticks with people and they want to take action. So maybe after you finish Cole and Nancy's books, maybe you want to check out Made to Stick by Chip and Dan Heath. These are some of the ones that have helped inform how I go about my data storytelling techniques. All right, so at this point, we've identified a problem, translated it to questions, gathered or made data, experimented and tested, analyzed, interpreted, visualized, and are ready to tell a data driven story that will lead to action and solve that problem. Congratulations! We are at the end of this series, but hopefully it's just the beginning of you being able to take and apply these concepts in your own data driven problem solving journey. And I'd love to hear if you're able to take them and apply them. Please leave comments, please reach out. And I thank you so much for joining and having the opportunity to be part of this journey with you. Thanks.